see a full room of officers and firefighters. It's shows respect for our new folks coming in, and the new folks coming in get younger every year. You guys ever notice that, or is it just me?
I think you're just getting old.
Anyway, the mayor loves swearing in officers. Anyway, I guess I ought to get with the program. Remy, you're back. You been off ill? Are you doing okay? All right, I'll have to get official now.
All right, 7:03.
Is it okay?
7:03, Mayor.
So, this Thursday, April 6, 2023, 7 p.m. plus or minus a couple minutes, we'll call the meeting to order, the village board. Thank you all for being here this evening. Christy, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bancole?
Here.
Trustee Priegi?
Here.
Trustee Husani?
Here.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Here.
Trustee Porter?
Here.
And Trustee Kemper is out tonight.
Yes, yes. If you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Hearing no changes. Christie, call the roll.
I do just want to make one comment. There was a scriber error on page 13 of your agenda packet. It was 7A17. I have changed the correction to reflect Dr. Victoria Ackland, spelled Akinde, and I have changed that and edited it, and you guys do have that in front of you for that.
Thank you.
That is all I have.
Oh, that's why I have these here.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Husseini has arrived.
All right. Can I take it then?
Pardon me? Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Thank you.
Presentations. Swearing in of police officers Mario Mejia. Hope I said that right. Cardenas and Ashley Swanson. Okay, Chief. Mario Mejia Cardenas, would you please come up? Bring your family. This is a big deal. Not every day, I swear. Oh, come on. Mario was hired by the police department on December 19th, 2022. Mario began the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy on January 9th, 2023. Plans to graduate the academy on April 28th. Mario most recently worked for Whole Foods as a produce team manager. Guys, he knows about food. He holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a bachelor's degree in psychology from Lewis University. Mario enjoys fishing and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Oh, they're going to be in trouble on the street, aren't they? Welcome aboard.
Sir.
Somebody like to hold the Bibles? Mom, yes. Mom, Dad, and sister. Congratulations. This is a fine day for our community. Yes. I state your name.
Mario Mejia Cardenas.
There you go. Yes. We'll do it till we get it right.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I'll support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of police officer
the duties of the office of police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Dave, did you lose the job? All right, we had a photo together?
I'm gonna move the microphone.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Now the worst part. You gotta go keep the board like that. Say hi. Say nice.
This is the best part, not the worst part. Congratulations.
You can't leave. There's a question now.
Yes.
Cubs or Sox? It's tough being with the mayor. Yeah. Okay. I shouldn't enjoy this so much. We have a quality police department. We have a quality fire department. I'm very proud over the years that they're fully certified, fully ready to go, and recognized across the state for their good work. Ashley Swanson, where did she go? Oh, back there. I'm looking here. Oh, goodness. Bring the family up. Ashley was hired by the police department on December 19, 2022. Ashley began the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy on January 9, 2023, and plans to graduate the academy on April 28th. Ashley most recently worked for Brinks, Inc. Ashley holds an associate degree in criminal justice from the College of DuPage and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Lewis University. Ashley enjoys all types of animals, riding her motorcycle and weightlifting. Motorcycle and weightlifting, I wouldn't have expected that. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh, that's used by, yeah. Raise your right hand. It's okay to smile. I love swearing. Having a family here is a beautiful thing. I state your name.
I, Ashley Swanson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of police officer,
faithfully
the duties of the office of police officer.
the duty of office of police officers
I like the face that you have. That's okay. To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. 30 years when you retire, you'll say, boy, look how young I am. Very good. All right, well done. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now you have to meet the board. Yeah.
Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Ashley, the big question,
Yes.
Cubs or Sox?
I was told the right answer is Cubs.
Who gave you that?
Who told you that?
Misinformation.
You were told?
It's a beautiful thing. Come on, we'll get a photo together. That's gonna be a squared away officer. I like that. All right, nice to have you aboard. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Oh, we got property.
You want to do them in there? You have a lot here.
We got a lot to do.
They're in order.
Okay. One of the things that the mayor has been a lead on an initiative for our youth in the community is Kids at Hope, Kids at Hope Day, where we believe in our children and be successful. It's a belief system. I'll read the proclamation, and we have folks that are here to receive a copy of the proclamation tonight. If you would all come on up, and I'm assured I have enough copies, but, oh. Okay. I will read the proclamation as these men and women work hard and know the value of children in our community. Hanover Park is a family-oriented community, and I will stand on that. And therefore, whereas Kids at Hope is a national initiative committed to the success of all children without exception. Whereas Kids at Hope is committed to reversing the stigma, abuse, and inherent harmful self-fulfilling prophecy associated with the expression youth at risk. Whereas Kids at Hope advances a research-developed cultural framework which demonstrates that all children can succeed without exception when children are surrounded by adults who believe they can succeed. When children benefit from meaningful, sustainable relationships with caring adults. When children learn to articulate their future at life's four major destinations of home, family, education, and career. Community and services and hobbies and recreation. And whereas Kids at Hope promotes the practice of treasure hunting to ensure all children's talents, intelligence, and positive traits are discovered. Whereas the people of Hanover Park are committed to the success and future opportunity of all children of our village. And whereas the Village of Hanover Park will host a Kids at Hope Community Health and Resource Fair on April 29th, 2023, to introduce our youth to all the opportunities available to them in our village that will help them succeed. Now therefore I, Rodney S. Craig, Village President of the Village of Hanover Park, do hereby proclaim April 2023 as Kids at Hope Month in the Village of Hanover Park and encourage all citizens to observe and join in this special expression. dated the 6th day of April 2023. It's hard to imagine it's April already. These ladies and gentlemen have dedicated many years to supporting the kids at Hope. They believe in that all children are capable of success, without exception. Without exception, all children are capable of success. That's our belief. We believe that, and Hanover Park is a great place because of it. So I want to thank you all very much. What are these? Oh, what are these? Huh? Oh, okay. Here you are. Thank you very much. Gail, how many years have we been doing this?
A long time.
Long time, yes. Nicole, thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to have you here. What would I do without you?
That's a good question.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. I go one way, I come back the other.
It works.
We get a photo together, we got a crowd in.
Well,
Where do you want me? Oh, right there.
You're close enough.
It's close enough?
Close enough. You got this.
Oh. Thank you all very much.
Wait.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Very good, please. Visit the board members. Which one?
All right, congratulations, thank you. Thank you, congratulations. So, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Nice to see you. Have a good one. Yes.
A bunch more. So I have a few more proclamations to read. Oh. Jeepers. Next one is acknowledging Autism Awareness Month. Whereas autism spectrum disorder is a result of a group of complex neurological disorders that affect the normal functioning of the human brain and can be exhibited by anyone. Whereas one of the fastest growing developmental mental disabilities in the United States, autism is an urgent public health crisis that demands support from all levels of government. And whereas symptoms of autism may present themselves in a variety of combinations and can result in significant lifelong impairment of an individual's ability to learn, develop healthy interactive behaviors, and understand verbal and nonverbal communication. Whereas the Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that 1 in 44 school-aged children have been identified with autism spectrum disorder. And whereas autism affects not only the diagnosed individual, but the entire family and the community at large. Whereas there is currently no identified cause or cure for autism, it is known that with proper education, training, and community support, individuals with autism can distinguish productive lives and strive to reach the fullest potential. Now, therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, Village President, Village of Hanover Park, recognize April 2023 as Autism Awareness Month in the Village of Hanover Park and urge all residents to become better educated on the subject of autistic spectrum disorders. And I typically, Mondays and Fridays, visit grade schools and read to the children. they are educating our children more than ever about autism during the Autism Month. And it's nice to see there's that understanding and awareness and appreciation of their peers and understanding the impact of autism. Next, I have Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a community problem affecting both the current and future quality of life in our community. And whereas parents and caregivers have support from loved ones, friends, and their community, they are more likely to provide safe and healthy environments for children. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs that benefit children and their families. Whereas effective child abuse prevention programs are essential and succeed because community partnerships created among citizens, social service agencies, schools, business, law enforcement, faith-based organizations, civil organizations, and other child-serving agencies. Now therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, President of Village of Hanover Park, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. I love this stuff. It's so nice to acknowledge the good work that's being accomplished today by our social workers. We have those on our board that work with folks to maintain quality of life in our community. Next, I have the Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in this community. Whereas we must work together to educate our community about sexual violence prevention, supporting survivors, and speaking out against harmful attitudes and actions. And whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity to bring the issue to the attention of all residents of the Village of Hanover Park so they can learn more about preventing sexual violence and take action to create a safer environment for all. Now, therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, President of the Village of Hanover Park, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2023 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Mayor, we have Usma Husseini from the Community Crisis Center in Elgin.
oh,
to accept the proclamation.
Yes, let me come on down. Do we have a telecommuter with us tonight? Ah, okay, I will do that down there too. Good evening. We present this to you for the good work of your organization. And we have many, Hanover Park's, 2 counties and 4 townships, but many of you are really assisting and doing a wonderful job, and stay after it. Keep your heart in place. It's got to be a tough job. I'm an old operations guy. I under technology and stuff, but what comes from your heart is appreciated to serve our community. So thank you. And Trish Rossi, you're right with her. You do an amazing job in our community. So we'll get a photo together? Let's see. Okey doke. Thank you. Please welcome to our board. Say hi to the board. Thank you for coming tonight.
Comparing gifts.
Thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All righty. My next proclamation. DuPage Public Safety Communication, known as DUCOM. Would you please come up? Now, you know I respect this, right?
Absolutely, I remember you. You're good.
I'm on the executive board of DUCOM, so
Yes. I see you once a month, we're good. I know you like us.
I do show up for the donuts. Okay, nice to have you with us.
Nice to see
Thank you
you.
for being here. Whereas, I guess I better move. Whereas DuPage Public Safety Communications, known as DUCOM, plays a vital role in the protection of human life and property in our community. And whereas DUCOM has successfully serving the public safety communication needs of the village of Hanover Park and surrounding communities for several years. Whereas while enduring long shifts and handling frequent life and death emergencies, DUCOM telecommunicators get high standards in performance in performing their duties in a dedicated, diligent, and compassionate manner. Whereas DUCOM telecommunicators provide a critical communication link between the residents and police, fire, and emergency medical service providers. Whereas these individuals efficiently coordinate emergency services to ensure the health and safety of our residents, our visitors and travelers to our cities, towns, villages, districts, and on our highways 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whereas our public safety communications, personal daily service the public in countless ways without due recognition of the beneficiaries of their service. Now therefore I, Rodney S. Craig, Village President of Village of Hanover Park, do hereby proclaim April 9 through 15, 2023 as National Public Safety Communications Week in the Village of Hanover Park. And I personally want to thank you and your peers at DUCOM for your good work. I see the recognition on the wall,
That's my
and
job.
I hear the story. You're on that wall, aren't you? Yes, you
I
are.
give it out now, too.
Yes, yes. So please pass along my sincere appreciation for all the work, the support for people that call 911 and are in stress. You have an excellent way of coaching and getting people through, and our police and fire respond respectfully, and I think they're all here tonight just for you. There you go. Let's get a photo together. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more?
Congratulations, thank you for this.
Thank you.
No.
Very good. We have police and fire are leaving. We'll give them a chance. Have a nice evening. Very good. I didn't give my little spiel tonight, where our expectation with quality training, quality skills, certification programs, that they can function exceptionally well and go home to their family at the end of shift. That's important. And I believe that makes for a strong department, because they all ran out. Now you gotta share that message. No, I shouldn't have this much fun. I have a request to speak, signed in form. Hank, would you like to come up?
Yes, sir. Okay, here we go, we got 5 minutes. First thing, collect money for every week to pay the house of a cop that got,
Will you speak into the microphone,
Yes,
please,
sir.
Hank?
a cop that got hurt or killed? I mean, I don't say kill, he went to the other side. So we pay, collect every week. There's, I think, 1.5 million cops in America. If we collect $1 every week from one of them, any cop that gets, I gotta say, killed on the job, they get the house paid for, and the taxes paid till his wife passes out or his last kid leaves the house. Or can I work? I mean, he got shot, yeah, he gets workman's comp, he gets, wait a second here, okay, it's working.
We got
He
the
gets-
timer here, don't
Yeah.
worry.
And so, and if he gets hurt too, he can't keep working, workman's comp and insurance and stuff like that, yeah, but we pay his house off and taxes to his, get hurt, can't drive, can't work no more. He gets his taxes paid for till he passes away or his wife or last kid leaves the house. I mean, 18. Second thing, this is an idea, my work, my help, actually, not the second thing, going back to the first thing. If I got my family taken care of, I mean, I gotta be careful, I gotta be cautious with my life, but at the same time, sometimes you can't be cautious because it's a snap decision that you gotta make. You might make the right one, you might make the wrong one, but it's always a snap decision. But he won't be worried about his kids. He won't hold back because he's not worried about his kid and wife. His wife and kids are taken care of. Okay, second thing, going west on Lake Street, as we go west, on North Avenue Street, as we go around the corner, right at the corner, there's a cement thing, one way right and one way left. Maybe they should maybe they should just torn that cement thing, because, a snow truck, it's so quick, it's so fast, you might not get a chance to avoid it. Or put one of those on the railings, yellow and black. Make sure somebody doesn't slam into it. Third thing, tickets. Wait. Okay, yeah, tickets. Tickets for any speeding, parking tickets. We can help the people that they're in the hole. We take the guy breaks down, he doesn't have any money to pay for a tow truck, or, and you don't want to change the tire on the side of the road. It's dangerous. Even the cops say, Scott's law says, you better slow down. So when I'm on the right-hand side, I don't switch to the left-hand side, because I might be turning this way and I may turn to the left. So what I do, I slow down to 5 miles an hour, and somebody smashes into me, I follow Scott's law, they can't say nothing to me. Well, I'm looking back, I don't want to get smashed in the back. Well, if I'm in a truck, go ahead and smack into me. But, the money is saved. People that can't have a tow truck, can't have money to tow the truck to the tire place. The cops tell them, there's this 5 places you can change the tire. You might take it there, or we take it to a safe place. We take it here to the police station, and then you can change the tire right here, and it'd be okay. What people should do is actually pay $6 every 6 months, and then get tow truck service, not for free. It's 15 miles, and you pay for the rest of the distance. Fourth thing, there's a dispatcher that I call here at the police station. And maybe her manager wants to sit and listen for a whole week her conversations that she does. And I called one time, I called 911. I hear somebody screaming, and they didn't send the lady dispatcher didn't send anybody. And I'm not going to go find out. I don't have a badge to find out. And if I do go find out, somebody say I'm the one causing the problem. You got to have a good background. As a police officer, you're more trusted than civilians because they hold them to a higher standard. And second thing, I had a black spider coming at me. It was coming happily at me, and as soon as I was going to smack it, it started running for its life. And I had a brown spider coming at me, and I was sitting down and coming at me in my bed. I smacked the hell out of that one. And there's also another black one coming at me, and I smacked the hell. They were happily coming at me. I know they're just black, and there was brown. The black one's supposed to kill you, and the brown ones, I know they're not from this area, but The Browns one's supposed to make you crazy.
Your time's
Also,
up. Your time's up, Hank, and,
okay. I must have said this thing out the wrong way.
the clerk has the right way.
Yes, sir. I'll come back next meeting is when?
April 20th?
I'll be back to talk to you guys. And you
Okay.
guys, do your best, you know, we can only try to do our best. We can't fix everything.
And
you.
always feel
Thank
free
you.
to visit our police department. They're very helpful. They understand some of your thoughts. And you started with support for families of police and, fire. We are active with the 100 Club that supports those families in harm's way. So, thank you very much. Next, I have, the time's ahead. Oh, Tom Clark. I was reading the wrong thing. Tom Clark? Nice to see you, Tom.
Nice to see you all. Okay, a lot of stuff, 5 minutes, so everybody hang on. My name is Tom Clark, and my address is written down for the clerk's record. I am a resident of this village and a member of the Development Commission, but it should be known that tonight I speak strictly for myself and that any reference of village or committee business should already be in the public domain. That said, Honorable Mayor, trustees, Madam Clerk, staff, and fellow residents, I'd like to speak a few moments about my concerns regarding village legislation or authorizations that was passed about a month ago. In particular, I'll point to the board meeting on Thursday, February 16th, agenda item 7 Alpha 6, whereby the trustees voted their approval in favor of a 24-month service agreement with Flock Safety, thus consenting to install 10 street cameras or so to read vehicle license plates at various strategic intersections within the village. I understand that the village will use such cameras only at specific times to assist in the mitigation of an active crime. I also understand that the usage and storage of such collected license plate data is generally temporary, and the sharing of this information with other governmental agencies will be highly scrutinized. Well, now, this all sounds just fine, and I'll admit, based upon what I gleaned from the agenda packet, I would have voted for such funding as well. But thanks to a couple of trustees who yanked this topic from the consent agenda and brought up some very valid concerns, I too got to thinking about this surveillance equipment, and here's a few of my thoughts. First, I will always remain in favor of equipping our local police force, and they are good people indeed, with all reasonable and lawful means of apprehending those who willingly threaten the peace within our village. Nonetheless, this equipment is being budgeted and installed based upon the premise that there will be guilty people whose recent deeds or behavior merit the use of these devices. Stated another way, the equipment is regretfully being purchased upon the premise of guilt, as the concept of surveillance is not easily peddled under the now struggling constitutional premise of innocence. Moreover, I'll maintain that surveillance equipment such as these license plate readers, and I'll include red light cameras, carries the potential to be misapplied against the public, whether intentional or not. If local governments feel the need to accept the increased usage of surveillance equipment, it follows that these municipalities must maintain the highest standards of ethics and moral behavior. This certainly applies to all elected officials, plus those who have any connection with the application of these license plate readers. As we all stand here today, I believe that Hanover Park's trustees and police force have certainly demonstrated and maintained the morals and ethics needed for the application of these electronic surveillance devices upon the public. But what about the days to come? In, say, 20 years or so, at least some of us may not be in this chamber. Will the existing surveillance equipment installed today serve as a gateway for more severe observation methods in the future? How does the installation or use of electronic surveillance methods nourish our individual liberty? Will license plate readers always contribute to the village's pursuit of a welcoming community? Will the composition of future village boards have the required ethics and scruples to monitor usage and intercept the misuse of surveillance devices? My concerns are hardly original, and I'm not suggesting at this time that any of you run home and reread Orwell's 1984. It's really an old concern. Our nation's founders were onto it early. Both Jefferson and Franklin conveyed numerous remarks regarding individual freedom being cast aside in favor of so-called security. So going forward, it is my hope that this village board with regular frequency reviews in detail the performance of these license plate readers and the personnel responsible for their operation. Further, and if not in existence already, it is also my wish that the village board will maintain or create village codes which prescribes the type, function, acceptable usage, unacceptable usage, and review standards for any installed or proposed surveillance device. Actionable remedies for equipment misuse upon the public should also be included within such regulations. I recognize that this all sounds rather severe and would create further administrative burdens within the village. But I say this because it is my belief that the strength and sovereignty of a local government depends greatly upon a mutual covenant of trust between its citizens and elected officials. Electronic surveillance, if misapplied, even to a small degree, can all too easily encroach upon and perhaps ruin such a covenant. And such a loss, I think it's safe to say, would likely be difficult from which to recover. This then concludes my remarks, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tom. And
Thank you.
it's our responsibility to assure we keep our eye on the ball. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Village President's report. I'd like to congratulate those who succeeded in the recent campaign election, and always thank those in the community and that seek to make a difference and run for office. Not everybody makes it, but it's a responsibility to have quality leadership in our community, in our state, in our county, and for the country. So well done to those who succeeded, and look forward to working with you in the next 2 years. And well done. I have also been working closely with continual efforts on the coalition, with the coalition and with Metra on the railroad. There's a lot of proposals going on right now. We have opportunities for oversight, and we need to take advantage of that. And if they fail, Canadian Pacific fails in their efforts to do the right thing, we have the opportunity to file a complaint following their contract, and it's going to be interesting how this rolls out into the future. I appreciate this board supporting my efforts on this matter. I've been to Washington, I've been to a number of meetings, and I appreciate our support, not only for me, but for staff that has some oversight. Juliana, I know you're right up to your eyeballs in the discussion with the other communities, and we've got to do the right thing for our residents to keep this safe. Therefore, I will approve by unanimous vote items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through. Wanted to remove 7, 8, 10.
Okay. We never say no when a trustee wants to remove something, so.
Do we need to restate the motion?
Yep.
Yes. All right, I apologize. I got distracted.
Without exception, we'll remove 7, 8, 10, and hearing no exception, I can ask Christie to continue the roll call.
So on the consent agenda, it will be 7A1 through 7A9, and then 7A11 through 7A18.
Thank you.
Trustee Priegi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Very good. Move 7, 8, 10, move to approve the waiver of up to $61,760 in water-related fees to fill the Hanover Park District Seafire Springs Aquatic Center pool for the summer of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Herb?
Yeah, thank you. And once again, my apologies for sleeping on that the first time.
Dave?
District has estimated that the usage would be $97,759. And I understand that staff met with the Park District representatives and came up with a counter offer of $61,760. And so I'd like to know, what was the discussion that resulted in this being the amount that we're approving for the Park District? And what is the plan for the Park District to cover the remaining $30-some-odd thousand in difference, $35,000 in difference? Did they present a plan as to how they're going to cover that remainder, that amount, so that the Aquatic Center will be able to open on time and fully function?
So, Mayor.
Yeah.
So, the $97,759 number was our estimate of the water based on the previous couple of years that they, of their usage. 2 years ago, they, the village voted to waive the fees for fill at the beginning of the year, just the one-time fill. Then last year, the approval was for water throughout the summer, so it was higher the second year than the first year. So based on that usage, we estimated the $97,000 that came to you initially and then asked. The Park District staff came and met with their finance director, consultant, and our staff, and walked through their budget, their proposed budget for this next year, and they walked through their capital costs and their pool funding. And so we asked them to go back and provide us with a set amount that they thought that they would absolutely need to be able to open the pool this year. And this is the amount that they came back at with the $61,000. Our assumption is that's their shortfall this next year. So while we still believe that it'll be $97,000 in cost to fill the pool, their shortfall is only the $61,000. And then they proceed to say that they are in the process of doing a facility study this next year. Correct. And that facility study will give them more information to be able to have a discussion about future years of the pool.
And I guess that's a prelude to the rest of my concern. Is we recently at our board meetings have had discussions about providing relief for our residents in terms of their water bills and water services. And we're struggling, I think, even to find a few $1,000s to put into some type of funding apparatus that would allow us to give our residents relief. And I just am a little befuddled that we are able to carry a $35,000 shortfall or $35,000 burden to support our Park District, which I'm all in favor of. But I'm just concerned that in terms of our priorities and when we need to find dollars for certain things, we seem to do that with very little finagling or very little manipulation or maneuvering to do that. And I would like for us to have the same motivation and inspiration when we're looking to serve our greater community in terms of what we wanted to do with some of the water service relief ideas that were floated from this dais moving forward. Because certainly, again, I'm in full support of what the Aquatic Center provides to our community, and I think it's a necessary service and product that we produce. But I also have real concern for the sensitivity that we carry forward for our residents, and for making sure that I think the board would agree with me that water is a necessity and no family should be denied water service for lack of an ability to pay a water bill. And I know we have talked about putting some money in the fund to do that, and I think that discussion's ongoing. But I just thought it was just interesting, you know, how we were able to come up with these dollars for this to support the pool and not for our residents who are struggling with their water bills.
Okay. Juliana?
Just a clarification, this is not a budgeted amount. We did not budget this it will have to come from fund balance, and it is clear, it is up to the board, as we explained at the last meeting. We're looking for your guidance as to whether you wish to do this. The mayor was at that meeting with the Park District as well, and they explained that they would not be able to open their pool this year without this funding. So I'm presenting it to you. The board will need to make a decision as to whether, or you can request for the Park District to come and speak. I don't know if Nicole's here on behalf of the Park District on this issue, though.
I just have a couple of questions. That's an excellent point. So thank
Yes,
you
please go
for
ahead.
bringing that up. So is the 61,000, so you mentioned before that 1 year we filled it at the beginning of the summer, and then another year we continued to fill it throughout the summer. Is this 61,000 for a one-time fill, or is this throughout the
The
entire?
97,000 would be the fill for the summer, for the pool season. The 61,000, or the 61,000 was their shortfall that they requested. So it's just a portion of that 97 to fill the pool for the summer. And Nicole, I'm sorry to put you on the
That's
spot, but what were the dates for the pool that you were gonna have it open this year?
The pool's opening June 3rd, if that's correct, if that's a Saturday, and then it closes August 14th, that's the Sunday. Yeah. That might be
June-
one or two days off.
June 3rd and August
14th?
13th is the Sunday.
Okay, the 13th, sorry.
And so the Park District believes, if I may direct this
Yeah.
question to you, so the Park District believes that they will have an adequate amount of funding throughout the summer to continue to do these fills?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. My next question is if this is now the third fiscal year that we are doing this, you mentioned before that this is something that we hadn't budgeted for. Why is it that we haven't budgeted for this?
This is not a program that has been a part of our service, the services that we provide. It's a service that the Park District provides. In previous years, the board's made a decision to waive the fees based on unexpected repairs at the Park District that took place, that there's always been the desire of the village board to support the Park District in keeping the pool open. So the last couple of years, they've had situations where they would have struggled to open the pool had they not received assistance from the village.
Thank you. If I may just add, and if I may just address the board, if there's a way we could, when it comes time for budget season, we could talk about including this in our budget and having a conversation about that. Because Safari Springs Aquatic Center really does bring a lot of value to our village and also is great for the kids. So I would hope that we could have just a future discussion about that.
I think I'd be interested in having that dialogue.
Thank you.
Nice suggestion.
Thank you. The last thing I did want to note is that Trustee Porter brought up a very good point, which is we've had ongoing discussions about water and sewer and trying our best to assist residents that may be experiencing financial hardships. And I also very much support waiving these water-related fees. I will be voting in the affirmative, but you know, it wasn't even a month or two ago where we had a discussion in which we were talking about a water fund, and I could not get the majority of the board to be in favor of allocating $5,000 for water and sewer related fees for our residents that might need a little bit of assistance. $5,000. So please, as we move forward and we talk about things and all the different ways that we can support our residents, I would ask that the entire picture is taken into consideration.
Under the village
That's all I
manager's
have.
report this
Thank you.
evening, you will see water billing update. Okay. Call the question. Christie?
Do I have a motion?
Yeah, didn't we have a motion?
Yeah, it's been motioned.
Who motioned first?
Bob.
And second was?
Me?
Thank you.
Okay, trustee Husani,
Yes.
trustee Gutierrez,
Yes.
trustee Porter,
Yes.
trustee Bancole,
Yes.
and trustee Prigi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7A19, move to approve warrant 4/6/2023 in the amount of $3,230,456.56.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Hearing no discussion. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Husani,
Yes.
trustee Gutierrez,
Yes.
trustee Porter,
Yes.
trustee Bancole,
Yes.
and trustee Prigi.
Yes.
Thank you. 7A20, move to approve warrant paid in advance 3/9/2023 through 3/30/2023 in the amount of $1,005,940.18.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Gutierrez,
Yes.
trustee Porter,
Yes.
trustee Bancole,
Yes.
trustee Prigi,
Yes.
and trustee Husani.
Yes.
Very good. 7A21, move to approve February 2023 P cards in the amount of $33,811.56.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Porter,
Yes.
trustee Bancole,
Yes.
trustee Prigi,
Yes.
trustee Husani,
Yes.
trustee Gutierrez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Village Managers Report, Juliana.
Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, under the board asked that we, staff look at how we would provide additional assistance to those who were unable to pay their water bill or were short. The board allocated $2,500 to a trial fund out of the water fund to provide additional assistance. Is Linda here? Linda, Assistant Finance Director, did some research and spoke with all of the townships, and if I could ask that she report on what she found and what she's put together for this enhanced program. Thank you.
So I did reach out to all 4 townships and had discussions with them, and they've all agreed to put our program onto their list of assistance for low-income residents. And so how the fund will work is we will, when residents come in to ask, say they can't afford to pay or they're going through a hard time, we will refer them to the township.
Can you grab the mic, please? Thank you.
I'll bring it closer. Okay, sorry about that. So we will refer the residents to the township, at which point the townships will help them apply for all the assistance programs available at that time. We understand that there's certain times of year when some of the assistance programs close. Once the residents have gone through that process and received that assistance, if they still need more assistance to help pay their water bill, they'll be referred back to the village, which at that point, we will work with them to provide them up to $100 a year to go towards their water bill.
And so we had some discussion about, so we had some
So
discussion.
sorry, Juliana. Just before
Can-
you continue, so you were going in and out when you were talking this. Is there a way you could just provide us that brief overview one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Apologize.
So, yes, what we came up with is I talked to all 4 townships and had discussions with them, and they've all agreed to add our program onto their list of assistance programs. So when a resident needs assistance, so if they come to us and they let us know, we're having trouble paying our water bill, we'll refer them to the township where they can apply for the other assistance programs available to them. And, we understand sometimes those assistance programs close, or even though they qualify for it, there's no more funds left. And then at that point, the township can refer them back to the village. And then once they're referred back to the village, we'll work with the resident. We can provide up to $100 in assistance per year to help these residents get their water bills paid and help avoid termination.
Very good.
Thank
So-
you.
So to follow up on that, 2 things. One, the board set the $2,500, and so we didn't want to just leave it as an open, and we wanted to put some type of amount on that. $100 is the recommendation, so that we can make sure that we can spread it out over more residents than maybe 1 or 2. That way we can evaluate as we go through the year to see whether more funds are needed or if the $2,500 is adequate. In discussions with the townships, they would really like us to send the individuals to them first, because they're able to help the individual in other ways in addition to water assistance. So they might need assistance through the food bank, or they might need child care assistance or some other, they have many programs, and so they would like to help that individual as a whole first, and then know that we would have additional funds to help if for some reason they exhausted the aid from the township, through the townships. One of the things we found at the beginning of the year, we're only in April, some individuals have gone through the LIWAP program, and we have received assistance for them and applied it to their account, but so they're actually in a positive balance, and they can use that over the several months to help assist them if they can't make it their entire bill. Some have used it to see that they have a balance and then they don't pay their next water bill. Others have it there as their emergency kind of fund in case they have a month that they need additional assistance. So this would be if for some reason somebody received that assistance but then needed further assistance, maybe say in the fall when things might get difficult again or continue to be difficult. So that is our initial discussion with the townships, and we recommend proceeding with this effective May 1 when the rate increase goes into effect.
It sounds like the townships can have a broader sense of support and can assist people in more ways than just the water. And that may help them in more ways than one. So this sounds like a good start. I like the fact that you stated that if we see that the $2,500 doesn't get it, then we can come back to the board and maybe adjust that, or if, in some manner. So it'll be an ongoing report back to us, I would assume.
The discussion with the board had been, so we're going to be going into budgets. We're just starting budget season right now. So as we go into the budget, we can watch this fund and see how these funds are applied, and the board can have a discussion during the discussion of the water fund.
Well, we got to let this cook, so I'm really pleased that we started this initiative. I've heard from the township supervisors, they're more than willing to work with us and to support us, whatever that need is. And these other things that crop up, that we may hear more about special needs or whatever it is. So thank you. Anyone else? Um,
That was my first thought as to what we do when the funds get exhausted with 2,500. But as I recall, in the workshop, the numbers, historical data that we had suggest that it's going to be sufficient, 2,500. But I'm glad you have some plan if it doesn't. And things change all the time. So if it exceeds 2,500, that there is a plan for $100 cap on a individual. So that is something, does that have a cap as well? Have you thought about that? Or I don't think it will go to that extent, but I'm just wondering.
So Linda is recommending that $100 additional be made available to individuals who have exhausted the other opportunities
Yeah.
through the
I think
townships.
it's a great idea.
Now, I think we have flexibility that if for
Yeah.
some reason somebody received $100 and then later in the year, they're really struggling, we have money available. I mean, I think that there's flexibility to do that, but it's helpful to have some type of guideline around.
I think this is something good. Something good start. That's it.
Oh, I like the support from the township, so I think this will be some success for us down the road. And everybody's willing to pitch in and try to assist where possible for our residents. Okay, monthly treasurer's report?
So the monthly treasurer's report for February.
So I have a couple questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. So we decided on $100. Why are we on that figure? Where did the $100 figure come from? Was
So
it based off of data or like the average water bill, or was it solely based on the 2,500 or?
it was based
What
on the
was
$2,500 and dividing it by 100 and being able to help 25 people.
Okay. I do want to thank you and Linda for setting this up with the townships and having that initial discussion. I'm glad that that we do at least have some type of process in motion. I do have a concern about the fact that if a resident needs assistance with their water bill, they will come here first, then be told to go to the township, and then if the township can't help them, then they will then come back to us. It seems like
Well,
a lot of bouncing around.
it's not really like going physically back and forth, so they will come to if they are not already in discussions with the township and being assisted, so say in May, they've already come to our counter or called and said, I'm having difficulty paying my bill, or they've gotten their shut-off notice and they call us and they can't pay their bill, then we would ask them to go through the process with the township to fill out the application and be receive the assistance there. If the townships will know that the individual has received that assistance and they still are eligible and in need of help, they will just call us and we can just apply it to their account. So it's not like they have to come back to the front counter or have a conversation.
Okay. So how are we going to notify residents about this new service? Are we creating like an info sheet?
My recommendation would not be to widely advertise this. I think we should have this as an emergency fund for those that are identified through the township as in further need. I think it's, the other programs have been included in our newsletter and are on our website. And so those individuals who are in need of assistance will have that process available to them. And I would recommend leaving it to those at the township to identify that somebody might need additional assistance on above and beyond what they're able to provide them.
Yeah, I understand that reasoning, but I'm going to have to disagree because our residents have a right to know what services and what emergency resources are available to them. So how will we essentially have information in one place about this new process? Will it be in a PDF? Will we have sheets at the front desk? You know, how exactly are we going to have information on this new program to serve our residents in one place?
I guess I don't look at it as a new program. I look at it as the board has allocated funds from the water fund in an emergency pot of money to be able to help individuals who are in need, and the program is more what the townships have to offer in various ways. So it's not just that they're offering the water assistance, and their water assistance might be through LIHEAP, might be through LIWAP, might be through their additional funding sources as well, because they have, I know, like, for example, Hanover Township has a fund of additional funding to help assistance. So it's more of a whole package that we're offering, and it's not all controlled by the village. So the townships have programs that they offer as well. So I guess this is just another pot of money. It's not another program. And we're not offering it as something where you can come straight here and just get the $100 and not go through the township program. That's our recommendation, is that they go through the township program first, and that this is a stopgap on top of that.
If I could make a suggestion, I know on our website we say if you need further info, please contact the water billing department during regular business hours. I don't think it'll cost, you know, it won't cost the doors to be broken in, people asking for this if we add, or if you're having trouble paying your water bill.
Do we have that already?
Give us a call. And I know that historically, when we would pay the water bill, and like if I would bring up a client, you would give them a paper that says these are all the places you can go for assistance, right?
We have that.
We have that.
Can this be added on there, or on the webpage that says, you know, call us if you're having trouble paying your water bill? It leaves it open, like, we're here, let's work on this together.
At what point, I guess? So we have that, call the village if, before your water gets to the shut-off point.
So it right here just says, if you need further information, please contact the water billing department during regular business hours. And we're just adding, or if you're having trouble paying your water bill. It's just a little,
Wait, go ahead, where is it? Point.
So there is a page, billing payment assistance, that information.
where is it at?
It's under the finance page, it has all of this different water.
But it's not in the bill payment options? Because the bill payment option would be like
It's
a,
at the same level as bill payment options. If you look at it on your PC,
okay,
but you would have to drop down the menu there.
okay,
On
on the left hand, yeah.
Bill payment assistant link.
Can you pull it up so
I see it. So it's on the bottom. So the following document contains information, and that's the financial assistance list. I think you can still add that on there.
Yeah, if you could pull it up.
You can still add on here if you're having trouble paying your water bill. Or if you're late, et cetera.
I'm waiting until it gets pulled up. So, are you going to be able to pull it up, Jed? Yeah. Okay. So go back for a second. So it says the following document, which there's a document below that says, contains information about places you can contact to try to obtain assistance to help meet your basic needs. Each program has individual eligibility requirements. So if you click on the financial assistance referral list, Yes, I think we can add a sentence to say, if you can contact the finance department, will help you, guide you through the assistance process or something like that. It's kind of on the side of the page, but we can make it clearer that we can help you.
It's also translated to Spanish.
So trustee Gutierrez, did that answer your question? I don't know that that is what trustee Bancole is requesting though.
The issue is that residents have a right to know. And at the same time, we balance that with the fact that we don't want this to be abused in any way, shape, or form. And so I think that just adding that, give us a call, you know, if you still need assistance with your water bill, you know,
Yeah, we can do that. We can
We're
add
willing
some,
to
we can
work
add
with you
some.
to
Yeah,
avoid, you know,
yeah.
the disruption of
I
services.
I balance it with having somebody call and I don't want to have to say no to them and have them, it's helpful to have somebody take the first step and go through that step first before jumping to this end product. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that there's professionals at all of the different townships that can help walk them through the next steps and what they need to do. And
Okay,
but
So then, let's say that a resident comes to me and says, I'm struggling, I need assistance. I would then say, I'm going to refer you to contact our village, and they're going to walk you through it.
So you would have them call finance department. They would look up on the account to see whether the individual has already touched base with the finance department. I'm doing this in layman's terms. Linda can talk more technically, but go ahead.
Do you want me to cover that? Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so when a resident calls and they're, you know, struggling to pay their bill, they need more time, you know, we have a record on their water account. We can see if they've already gone to the township and we see they already received like the LIWAP assistance, we can quickly call or email the township and be like, hey, do you have any other programs available for this resident? And they'll say pretty quickly yes or no. And then from there, if they say no, then we can immediately go into this other program and funding to help them out at that point. So it's just every resident is going to be different and their situation is going to be different. And our goal is always just to get them to the right place to get the right assistance.
That's helpful, thank you.
What's the average a resident pays for a water bill per month?
So the average, I pulled this. So with the new rates, the average bill is about 4,000 gallons a month. So in Cook County, that's $54.47. And in DuPage County, that's $69.11.
Per month.
Yes.
You said those are with the new rates?
Yeah, that's with the new rates.
You said 69?
Yes, $69.11, and that's for DuPage.
Thank you.
And then I also, for you, every additional 1,000 gallons for Cook is $11.93, and for DuPage, it's $15.59. So on top of, if they're over 4,000 gallons.
Thank you.
very good. Are we ready? Okay, monthly
Thank you for
treasury.
your work on this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pardon
No, thank you for your work on this. I appreciate it.
me? Okay. I chopped you off twice, so I didn't want to be a third time. Very good. Monthly treasurer's report? Any-
Okay, so the monthly treasurer's report, this is for February 2023, but the next item in the packet is the fourth quarter financial report, which is the end, the full year last year. And we've gone through the audit process, and so this is more true numbers than we've been able to give you in the past. And then, so we have two items. One is last year as a whole, 12 months, and then this is just, the other is just for the month of February, new budget.
I noticed on here that the NWRD fields are showing a deficit of $842,719. What is that attributed to?
We have not received the full grant reimbursement for the project that was last year.
And do we anticipate when that we're gonna receive them, what's the source of that grant?
Go ahead. Do you have him answer? He doesn't know, it should be
That was a
DJ.
Fred Crespo grant?
We're expecting to receive those grant funds this summer, and it should be relatively soon, but certainly this summer.
And what was the source of the grant, do you know, TJ?
Well, it was a State of Illinois Capital Bill funding, but it's through the DCEO.
So this was one of the grants, how much? 1.42 million dollars that was used for that, the ball field improvements. And it was part of that capital grant that was, we received several years ago. It's quite the process. And it's on a reimbursable basis. So we have received some of the funding from the grant, but we haven't received it all.
Okay, so the $842,719 is still in arrears in terms of what we're waiting to receive.
Actually, if the board recall that I did request a budget amendment at the beginning of the year, so that since that we never received the grant for the MWRD, we have a negative fund balance at the end of 2022. So general fund did transfer money to MWRD for $200,000 for fiscal year 2022.
To balance.
Just to make it as a positive balance at the end of 2022 with a $50,000 or $52,000 fund balance.
Okay, all right, thank you.
The grant that we had from that same program, backed by Michelle Mussman, is for the railroad safety crossing. And within the next few months, that should be completed. And I really want to have a big recognition for those funds coming from the state. And thank you, Michelle Mussman, for backing us all the way through on this. I was hoping to have it done last fall, but the is it DCFS?
DCEO.
DCEO, too many acronyms. DCO was changing people in and out, understaffed, whatnot. So it's been delayed quite a bit, but the project is going to be completed shortly, and safety is a key component for crossing those tracks, and we're going a long way. We've had photos of people jumping in front of trains. This is going to go a long way. We got flashers, and we've got a safe crossing. So I'm really interested. I hope we plan an event when this is working that this board can show up and show the appreciation for a quality completion of a safety environment. And little did we know in 2020, when we applied, that this would be a key element with the railroad and all the extra freights and Amtrak and everybody else coming through. So I think kind of find ourselves in a catbird seat on this, and I'm really pleased to see that. So just a comment on continuing comment. Next.
So one additional question. So the commuter lot, it's it has a figure next to it. It's a little over 700,000. So does that mean that we're not in the red anymore?
If you recall, again, at the end of December, I did request an amendment to the budget. So I requested a transfer from general fund for $800,000 to commuter lot. So if you total the one that I requested in 2021 and 2022, now commuter lot owes general fund $1.1 million.
Okay, so still in the red?
It's still in the red.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And that will be an issue that we will need to address as part of this next budget, because we don't anticipate that it will be in the black this next year either.
There's many municipalities are going to daily only parking, and most people we find are taking a train maybe 3 times a week, not 5 days, and that's the middle of the week. So you see ridership quite low on Mondays and Fridays. And nobody wants to buy a monthly pass at the rates we've had it. So we're going to have to reevaluate if the ridership is not coming back the way it would have been. It's dependent on whether people have changed their working habits. No, nobody wants to work 5 days a week anymore. They'll work from home or do whatever. So it's something where we've got to watch and reconsider. Do we have too many spaces in our lot? And, so all the
If I could, I just want to highlight our general fund. If you recall, when we passed the fiscal year 2022 budget, we have a deficit of $5.5 million. Because on that deficit, we're supposed to use $6 million to fund for our fire station number 16 construction. So if you can see right now on page 251 of the report, which is the general fund, at the end of 2022, we only have a deficit of $724,686 that we're taking out of on our fund balance on the general fund. Keep also in mind that during the 2022, I did made a lot of budget amendment to transfer money out from general fund to other funds. For example, $2 million I transfer from general fund to road and bridge because we never received the grant from the DCEO. We finished the project, but we don't have money. We didn't receive the grant for it. So we have a negative again on the road and bridge. So general fund has to put money in it to pay for all those expenses. Same thing with, like what I said, MWRD. We did transfer $200,000 because we never received the grant in 2022, but we did receive it in early 2023. But again, the fund balance, the MWRD has a negative fund balance, so we have to transfer money. So with all those transfers at the end of 2022, instead of $9 million taking out of the fund balance, we only ending up $724,000 deficit on the fund balance for general fund, which is a good thing.
Thank you, Ms. Honeypitcher. I say that affectionately, of course. Okay, any other questions from the board? Hearing none, village clerk's report.
Excellent. Yes, so we have our doggy extravaganza that was moved from last weekend to April 15th. So I'm hoping for great weather, a lot less wind. So if you have nothing to do, come out and visit the doggies and the bunny that will be there on the 15th. Just a reminder, our Kids at Hope event at the Park District is on April 29th. Market at the Metro is quickly approaching on May 13th, and then Touch a Truck is on June 10th. And then we also do have a full movies and music in the park coming up in the summer, so be ready for fun flyers and getting ready for all those events. That is all, sir.
Thank you. Trustee reports. Trustee Ben Cole.
Thank you. Okay. So, I apologize. So as many of you may be aware, 2 Chicago firefighters lost their lives this past week. Their names were Jermaine Pelt and Jan Tijoret. I'd like to have a moment of silence for those lives lost.
Thank you, trustee.
Thank you. I'd also like to discuss some of the resident statements that were made tonight. Resident Hank, thank you very much for attending our meeting tonight and providing us with some of your concerns. I believe the mayor addressed your first concern about providing financial assistance for first responders and their families in the event of an accident. I am unfamiliar with the concern at Lake Street and North Avenue. I'm not aware of any cement issues, but maybe our Public Works Director could touch on that if there are any sort of outstanding cement issues near that intersection. Near Lake Street and North?
Trustee Bancolis, I believe that is in the village of Bartlett.
So it's Bartlett, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks for that clarification. There were other statements made. I do apologize. I was not able to follow all of the statements that were made. I understand that you also mentioned calling 911 and having our police officers respond to those calls. I do understand that we do frequently respond to those 911 calls. And if you have any additional questions about that process.
I was not able to finish the whole thing, so that's why you didn't understand.
Okay.
Next meeting, I'll take care of it. I only get 5 minutes.
Yes, yes, sir. I do also just want to mention, so you are able to reach out to anyone on this board if you have any sort of questions, future concerns. We do welcome you here, and you are able to come in person, and you can also watch these meetings online via YouTube.
What I learned, you don't only have to have a heart, you better know what you're doing. It doesn't seem like your jobs are easy to do.
Thank you. Resident, Mr. Clark, thanks so much for coming tonight. As you mentioned before, several of the trustees had some questions about the vehicle license plate readers. I do understand that these readers will be taking photos of the license plates. It's not like a 24/7 video that's running. However, I very much understand your concerns. Your concerns are valid. I do also understand that we are not the only village in the area that has these readers. I believe Roselle already has this. I don't want to speak out of turn. I believe Schaumburg already has it. I believe Bloomingdale already also has this type of technology, and so this technology is already being actively used in this area. And I do also want to say that I'm very much open to any sort of future conversations in which we look at our current ordinances and make sure that they are in line as we continue to use technology when we're thinking about the role of public safety. Okay, so moving on. The Park District is currently advertising a survey. It's a 1-minute survey that lets you decide whether or not we should have a mini golf course at the Safari Springs Aquatic Center. I took the survey. I think it even takes even less than 1 minute. So I would encourage all of our residents to take this survey and voice their thoughts on this potential new purchase. I do believe that this survey is accessible on the Park District's website as well as their Facebook page. I'd like to wish those who celebrate Ramadan a happy Ramadan. I know that it is a month-long celebration. We're literally in the middle of it. And I was able to recently attend a community iftar, which is a meal, a gathering a meal and a gathering, I should state, which takes place after sunset, and it's where everyone that is present essentially breaks bread together. So wishing all who celebrate a happy Ramadan. I also understand that Passover was yesterday night, so wishing a happy Passover to all of our Jewish residents. And last but not least, I would like to sincerely congratulate Trustee Herb Porter and Trustee Liza Gutierrez for their outstanding reelection to our village board. And I'd also like to congratulate Trustee-elect John Kunkel. I look forward to working with him. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Very good. Trustee Prigge.
Yes, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Easter and enjoy your time. And then you are, the village is closed on Friday. Right?
Yes, we will be closed tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. Trustee Husseini?
Thank you, Trustee Bincoli, for mentioning about Ramadan. We are almost in the middle of Ramadan. It's 30 days fasting. Nothing goes down the throat with liquid or solid throughout the day when the sun is out. So when the meeting was happening, 7:20, I was breaking my fasting while the meeting is on. So I'm looking forward for my dinner right after this. So thank you for mentioning and having happy Passover for everybody who celebrates. And congratulations to Trustee Gutierrez and Trustee Porter for getting reelected. And great job. I was witnessing throughout the campaign. It's not easy to run a campaign. And you guys have worked hard and tirelessly with the weather, everything else. You just put up and you just go and do it, what you need to do. So thank you for working so hard for the community and the decisions that you make here for all of us, for elect. So thank you so much for all your work. And staff, always, thank you for all your hard work. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes, thank you so much to my fellow trustees. The work we do here, we do it with heart. And we certainly are a dedicated group, and so I'm honored to be amongst you again. I'm also honored that a couple of weeks ago, received the Supervisor's Award for Volunteer of the Year for Hanover Township, and I was taken aback by how many volunteers we have that are elderly, and they're out there doing the work, and they're working in the food pantry, and they're getting involved. And so I often get put in my ear, oh, we should do more as a community, or I wish our community would come together. Your townships are a great place to start. They need your help. They need you to volunteer. And I just want to thank the supervisor for that award as well. I was humbled. And May 13th, this is one great way to help. It's Stamp Out Hunger Across America. All you have to do is use your mailbox. You can put non-perishable items, cans. Don't put the ones that are expired in there. The good cans of the stuff you thought you were gonna like but don't like, or that you want to share with your community. Put those in the mailbox, and the postal officers will take them to like Schaumburg Township. So this is a great way to give back, and that's May 13th, Stamp Out Hunger. And finally, Happy Easter. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Porter?
Thank you. I want to start off by, on a somber note. Earlier today, we commemorated and recognized Child Abuse Prevention Month. Child abuse is an unfortunate fact in America, and it happens way too often, and it's become so common. And I don't think that there's anyone that would disagree that we need to do everything in our power to be able to stem the rise of child abuse. And to my way of thinking, the most unfortunate outcome or end result of child abuse is the death of a child. And I think we would all agree with that. And I juxtapose that against the fact that we live now in an America where the number one cause of death for children in our country is not car accidents and it's not childhood disease, it's gun violence. It's the number one cause of death for children in America. And to me, that is the ultimate child abuse. And I am always a little remiss when I see us shake our heads and console each other over individual cases of child abuse. But we have this uncontrolled gun violence that is occurring in America across all sectors of our community, across all ethnic groups, all economic all economic variations, categories, black, white, brown, yellow, rich, poor, immigrant, native born, they're all suffering child abuse at the hands of gun violence. And it disturbs me greatly. The massacre that occurred, the murder of 6 individuals in Nashville last week, is just a continuing onslaught of the abuse of our children. And I think that we as Americans, we should do better. We should be better than that, we have so many of our young people, our children whose lives are cut short because of gun violence. And until we take some real measures to deal with that, it's so easy to blame it on mental illness. Well, anybody that would take the life of a child, whether they've been diagnosed mentally ill or not, is certainly mentally ill. It may not come with a professional diagnosis, but no sane person would take the life of a child. So to just summarily dismiss it as mental illness, I think doesn't do the situation or the issue justice. We have to go beyond mental illness, and we have to then, if that is the case, take real positive measures to deal with mental illness. If we can stipulate that mental illness is the cause for this, then why aren't we doing something positive to deal with the mental illness that plagues our community? Mental illness health checks should be a prerequisite for any job application. Just like you go in for a health check, you go in for cancer screenings and other type of screenings. You apply for a job, you should have to take a mental health check. You know, for any type of situation. But anyway, I just want to say that child abuse is certainly something that I just don't take it lightly. And I'm so glad that there were people here to receive the resolution and that we read for it. But we got to do more than that. We got to do more than resolutions. We got to do more than handing out certificates. We have to be intentional about dealing with child abuse. And the number one form of abuse, in my opinion, is gun violence. And we need to really be proactive and take positive steps to address that. Moving on, I was at I am a commissioner or a committee member on the Hanover Township Decennial Committee. And we met yesterday, we met Tuesday. And the Decennial Committee is tasked with reviewing the policies, procedures, and bylaws of the township. And I am amazed at all of the resources that are available at the township. Just a wealth of resources that many of our residents aren't aware of. And I know they send out their flyer, their newsletter, just like we send out ours. But I'm certain that some of the things, and I've served on this board for 8 years, and there are things that I'm learning about that the township is responsible for, things that they do, services that they provide that I just had no idea how extensive the services and the resources are. I would recommend that it might be a good idea in our highlighter if we cross-publicize some of the events and the services and some of the obscure things that go on there that someone out there may have need of, but it's just one of, it's not one of the popular things, but a necessary service just the same. So I would like to see us do some more cross-promotion in our highlighter, on our website, on our Facebook page, on our different mediums to support the work of the township, because I think that they do a wonderful, wonderful job in doing that. I want to wish everyone a very peaceful and celebratory Ramadan, Passover, and Easter. However you choose, your faith leads you, that you would do that in peace with your family during this holy season for all three of our major religions. And finally, I want to thank the residents of Hanover Park for their continued vote of confidence in graciously sending me back to this dais and to this board to serve them for another 4 years. I don't take that lightly either. It's a job with a lot of responsibilities, and it's a job where we make a commitment to this community to do our best to serve the needs and the interests of the community at large. I take that very personally, and I take it in very high regard. And I do thank the residents of this community. I thank my running mates, Lisa Gutierrez and John Kunkel, and all of the other people who assisted us in this journey, and will continue to be by our side. We're very grateful for your support, and we hope to live up to the confidence that you've placed in us to serve in what I think is a very prestigious position here in our community. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Reporter and trustees. There is no executive session this evening. It's been delayed, and with that, accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Trustee Frigie?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez? Yes. Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
So I have a chocolate cake downstairs.
The meeting is adjourned at 8:50.
If you'd like to join me, if staff would like to join me, and board members. The cake is downstairs.
There's chocolate cake